Hey friends, welcome to the Trans Am. It needs some work. You see that? Yep. It's been quite a journey coming to this point. We are on the verge of heading into a new month, in the month of August, when I'm recording this. And Sarah and I have a big August. We're getting the house ready to move, and we're preparing for not just one, but 2 trainings that we're heading to Dallas, Texas to attend. There's a lot of pre-work that we're working through. I'll show you some of the books that we're reading for that, and just a lot of other things that got to get turned in before then, and obviously the trips and everything that's associated with actually going. Right now, Kyrea, our oldest, is at CIY on her last day of her first trip to CIY. She's going into middle school this year, and so excited to hear just how it went for her and what her experience was like. We're going to be picking her up tomorrow, and I guess right now we're in the middle of, for me personally and for Sarah, just a whole mixed bag of emotions. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Got the milk, need that for what I'm cooking today. Mac and cheese, gourmet. We haven't been to the grocery in a minute because we went to a vacation from like Thursday to Sunday, and just haven't caught up on stuff, and it's just been a lot of doing stuff for getting ready for this training and all that. But I want to tell you about some things that I'm glad they're happening, but they're not easy things. Okay, so let's chat. Let's do a little chat. Winston, you want to come in here? Winston, come on. You gotta contain the puppy. Come here, Winston. So, as I said, we went on a little vacation. I'll show you a little B-roll while we're chatting right here. We went up to Jellystone Campground. It's a camp resort, which some of you might disagree with the combination of those words, like camp resort. But it was really cool. As you can see, there was a lot of fun that we had. It was good to get away, and it was valuable time to just unplug and just spend time together as a family. And I'm really glad that we did that. So we've got this Art of the Start training that we're going to go to. Where are my books? I guess my books aren't right here. They're in my bag because we went to the library. Me and the kids went to the library. I was getting some reading done, but I guess I'll show you those in a minute. But we've got that, and so we've got reading and some like coursework material to get through, and so we're working on that. But the biggest thing was, I had a conversation with someone. There's been multiple times people have told me, you're going to be surprised by who gets involved and by who doesn't. It's going to be surprising to you who gets involved and who doesn't. And 2 couple like really cool things that I want to share before I share like the downer thing. We got one couple we had a conversation with, and invited them into the launch team, and they said yes initially. It was like, well, just pray about it, and then came back and they said yes after praying about it for a few days. They're a young couple. I've ministered to him. He was at the church I was at in Bluffton at First Church of Christ, and I'm really excited for Jaden and Lindsay to be joining the launch team and being a part of what God's doing. They shared with us that unexpectedly, they decided to relocate. They just got married, relocate to Fort Wayne instead of where they were thinking of. And then they asked us questions about where we're going to church. And so it just opened up, like God opened that door, and we walked through it. And so excited for them because they're both like 20 years old and have a heart for ministry, have a heart for Jesus. And they're the kinds of people that we can build a launch team around, who are hungry to make a difference and hungry to just share the hope of Jesus with people. And so that's going to be phenomenal. And then my dad had a conversation with one of his friends, and I am so excited about the potential. Like he said he's in. I need to have a conversation with him. I want to have a phone conversation with him. But super excited for the potential of Pierre joining the launch team because, man, just meeting him just this past Sunday, met him, and he's just got such an awesome personality. He's like one of those guys where you might have just met him, but you feel like you've known him for a long time. Like I literally think that I've met him somewhere. I don't know why, or I don't know where. But he's just one of those guys he can have a conversation with anybody. And I'm just so excited to eventually, like, maybe he shares his story with the vlog and with you guys, and I'm excited to see how God works. And so we've had launch team yeses, and that's amazing. And really, that's the thing that this video should be about, is like the exciting part of that. And of course, I'm the one, like, initially focused on the downer, but it's just a situation where I thought something was going to work in a certain way, and it didn't. And again, it goes back to you'd be surprised who jumps in, you'd be surprised at who doesn't. And it just requires us from a personal family standpoint to like have to make some changes and things like that on what we were thinking it was going to be. And it was dreaming big on some future stuff. And so it might change that, and that's fine. Like, I guess the way I've described this to Sarah is I knew that the like speed bumps and the roadblocks were going to happen. And I'm kind of glad that they're happening. Some of them, and some major ones, are happening now versus like way later in the process. I'd rather face some resistance early and get used to that, and then keep trudging forward, versus like having smooth sailing and then rocky waters, in the middle of it, and then get discouraged. So I'm gonna keep making things happen, keep praying, keep asking God to open doors. I'm having lots of phone conversations with ministry connections and friends who like, they're not just like super local. So having phone conversations with them and just sharing what God's doing, asking them to pray. And it's just been so encouraging to have all those conversations, even in the midst of some of the speed bumps and roadblocks and just things that I thought were going to work out that aren't going to work out. At least maybe not in the way that I thought it would. Hi, Winston. You say hi. You say hi. You want to look right here? Look at that. You say hi? You're not interested. You just want to hang out with me. That's cool. So Sarah's calling me. I'm going to answer that. And we'll leave it at that for now. So hope you guys have an awesome rest of the day. Peace.